Hi everybody and welcome to our homebrew D&D campaign. A few things you should know real quick. First off, we call ourselves the Dreamweavers in the first few weeks. We have actually changed that to the Lamplighters Guild, which is why it's posted differently. We have about 6 or 7 weeks of this already recorded and we're working on more. I hope you guys enjoy, and remember this is just the world building episode. There is no gameplay. Thank you.
Alrighty, awesome. So this is going to be the world building episode of the Dreamweavers podcast. So, it's a 5th edition D&D homebrew campaign that we're going to be doing. And to my right is
Aaron,
Lou,
Kevin,
and Bill.
And I am your DM, Jacob. We've got a couple other people going to be showing up throughout the podcast, so don't be surprised if new people pop in and out. People are flaky. So, that being the case, today we're going to do a lot of world building, and I was going to make it a little bit more open forum as opposed to just deciding the reality around us. And in that sense, the campaign is going to be taking place in a lot of the different multiverses that take place in the normal Forgotten Realms, Eberron, the numerous other ones that exist. So I'm really not concerned about taking too much from those, because where you guys are going to be starting is going to be in none of those places. So there's that. The other thing is for world building with that specifically that I want to bring to you guys is we talked about before starting the podcast and we started recording specifically about what you guys want to kind of like experience, where you guys want to take the story, and I can use your input and try to like build the story that you guys want to play. Because one of the great things I like about D&D is if it's not Adventure League, what you can do is you can basically have a build your own adventure, and you can have, like, if you've always wanted to fight a gigantic horde, if you've always wanted to fight a gigantic horde of hobgoblins or fight a gigantic horde of enemies of some kind, it's something you can do. Like if you want to reproduce the scene in Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers of the siege against Minas Tirith, that's totally a viable thing to do in Dungeons and Dragons, but I need to know what you want to do. So that being the case, I know that Lou is incredibly experienced in D&D. He's been playing since before most people were born at this table.
yes.
Yeah.
I've been playing since 1978.
What do you guys want to play? Like, what do you guys want to experience? Bill's probably the second most experienced player at the table for the moment. Aaron and Kevin are our two newbies who we're going to be very gentle with.
thank you.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know.
as far as I'm concerned, I haven't done a full playthrough of anything yet.
Okay.
I'd like to just play through something.
So you don't really care what happens and whatnot. You just want
We
to
just
show
want
that you're
to
there
actually
for
play.
it. Fair enough. Yeah.
We've been with other groups, but we've never completed a campaign with the group.
Okay. Well, I mean, I have basically told work, you can fire me if you want to, but I'm playing D&D on Mondays. So I'm not going anywhere. And Wednesdays and Sundays, but that's because I don't have a life.
That is your life.
That is my life, is D&D. So I'm going to be here, and so even if everybody else flakes out, Lou, I'm looking at you.
Embrace my chew.
Yeah. What we're going to be doing is going through this campaign, even if it's just the three of us and stuff. So I'm going to open up the floor and the forum for anybody who wants to. Go ahead and just tell me what you want to experience. Kevin just wants to experience D&D, apparently.
Pretty much.
Do we have similar feelings? Do we have, because I know a lot of the stuff that we're doing recently, that us players that are more experienced with Adventure League, we're not really doing a full campaign. We're kind of jumping around with Adventure League, and we're kind of not getting to experience you leave where you left off, you pick up where you left off last week.
Yeah, and that's what I would really like to see us do is go take a project from start to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the problems I'm having with the Adventure League is the way everybody has been bouncing around from doing say 3-1 to 3-8, then go back to 3-3, and then I'm sorry, that does not follow the storyline. Let's go from A to B to C to D.
Yeah. And for those who may not know, what is Adventure League?
Adventure League is an organization of D&D players. They're trying to get a little bit more structured, but some groups, and you can get different locales and whatnot, to try to get a little bit more organization. That way you could take, say your character, say you're playing a bard. By being organized like this, by having a log sheet, you can carry it, say, from here in Colorado, say you go to visit some people over there in Illinois, and you can carry that character with you, and because you've got a log, you can join a game there and log in there.
Mm-hmm. So it's really good for pick up and play.
Yeah.
But not so good for starting and completing a book.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I'd much rather see, is start and finish.
So you would agree with Kevin that you just want to finish a campaign. You just
Yes.
want to have a start and an absolute finish to something.
Yes.
And I'm the same way. Like, I mean, the big reason why I always jump on board to D&D when it comes to not in a structured setting is the amount of freedom that you have just in gameplay. Like, I really enjoy the freedom of a homebrew campaign, because if the DM's okay with it, you just go with it. You're not bound by the rules like you are in, let's say, the Adventure League.
Mm-hmm. So you just want to have shenanigans?
I mean, you know me as well as I know myself.
Yeah, but nobody else does.
Shenanigans are why I live.
Yeah.
And I really don't mind if we finish the campaign and then continue on to another one with the same characters.
Mm-hmm.
We just haven't finished a campaign with any group we've been with.
Okay. Yeah, would you agree with that, or is there any scenario or circumstance that you would you find appealing, or a draw that you would want to role play through, either combat wise? Personally, I think it'd be awesome to do a reproduction of Minas Tirith, but that's because I'm a super Tolkien nerd. So you guys really don't have any ideal experience for this campaign. You guys don't really have anything. You're fine with just letting me be my twisted world making self.
And I don't know. I think
Sure.
as time goes on, we might have suggestions. But
Yeah.
right now, I'm just like Kevin said. I just want to actually do a campaign.
Yeah, and I was just kind of that question is just what are your expectations up front from this campaign? Is what was basically what that question was for. And moving on from that, going into the next portion of what I wanted to talk about for the world building process is actually I'm going to start discussing what I have created for the world, what I have built that could be picked up from just a GPS image of what's going on around you guys. And so we're taking it from there. I've got a grand view and I've got a short view of what you guys are going to be experiencing going through. The campaign, the name of the campaign itself is, I've actually decided to call it the Minos Conspiracy, or the Minos Conspiracy. And it's for you Greek lore nerds, it's probably going to be pretty easy for you to pick up what that means. And it's the current setting that you guys are going to be in is that the players are going to start off in a labyrinth of some sort, and it's going to be a tough challenge for you guys to figure out A, why you're there, and B, what to do next. So it's going to be an atypical labyrinth. There's going to be definitely some things that should probably throw you guys for a loop at first. But the important thing that I wanted to talk about for world building, and I wanted to bring your guys' input into it. When I first started DMing, I still didn't play D&D. I played Dungeon World, which is a really fantastic tabletop RPG made by Adam Kobold, and I forget his first name, but Lesage is his last name. And one of the things they talk about in the Dungeon Master's Guide, or the DM Guide, or the GM Guide, is use what the players have to offer. Like, if they have an idea, if they have input, go with it. And for the sole purposes, like, if, like, everyone likes, you know, being in class and, like, having an idea or an answer that, A, is appreciated and B, put to use. So it's like, it's not that much for me to be like, yeah, that's awesome. I love that idea. Let's put it into work. You know, I'll fit it in somehow. And, you know, just so that, like, A, you're more engaged in that world. If you feel like you've contributed to it, you're more engaged. It's going to be a lot harder for me to tear the veil of reality, so to speak, in order to bring you guys into a situation where you are immediately there. And it's going to be less work for me, which is good because I'm lazy. But at the same time, it's going to be more enjoyable for you, which is good because that's why we're here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we're here to have fun and share that fun with everybody else, so long as if they find it interesting, you know. And even if, like, nobody really enjoys it, I'm perfectly fine having, you know, my mom listen to this and that's it. And just keep doing it for as long as everybody else is willing. So that being the case, given that circumstance, right? I asked you guys a question beforehand. Do you guys have any ideas of those three people and for your characters' backgrounds? Because we kind of have an idea of, like, what classes everybody wants to play. We kind of have an idea of what you guys want to do to bring to the party. I warned you ahead of time that you're probably not going to be starting with equipment. It's going to be very hard to find things. So you guys are kind of like metagaming in the sense of trying to optimize it so your characters don't die because they don't have a sword. But it's fine because if your characters don't have a sword, they're going to die. So I'm okay with that. But, like, what do you guys, like, what do you think would be an intriguing or novel concept to throw into this setting?
Well, you're saying that we're going to be find ourselves waking up in a cell with nothing.
Not necessarily.
Is this a gel cell or a...
No, it's not a cell at all.
It's a labyrinth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, waking up in the middle of a labyrinth.
And like I said, your characters do come from across the multiverse of D&D. So, like, you can be from Forgotten Realms, you can be from Eberron, you can be from... Bill, what are the other ones?
Too many to name.
Okay.
Well, you could have Dragonlance.
Yeah.
There are so many campaign settings for D&D throughout the years that there's no way to just rattle them off from memory.
Yeah, but that's kind of the point, is that, like, this labyrinth has somehow integrated itself. It's you know, put its thumb in all the pies.
Okay.
You know, and there's a little mix of everything going on.
And somehow we're the ones to wake up here.
You're not the only ones, though.
Okay. That's more information.
Yeah, I've been playing this pretty close to the vest until recording time.
Well, once we get out of the maze,
Mm-hmm.
what's going to are we going to be in what type of, once we walk out of that cavern that's a maze, is what I've got it pictured in my head.
Sure.
Are we going to be on a death world? Are we going to be in a jungle setting?
Are you asking me if you're going to be... Are you building a ranger? Are you asking me about your favorite terrain?
Yeah. No, actually, I'm taking a step way outside the box for me.
Okay.
I will not do ranger.
Cool.
I will be a bard.
Alrighty. So, in that sense...
Oh, dear.
part of me wants to say, well, you're just going to have to wait and see.
But see, and that's kind of what I expect.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm trying to picture, you're asking us to world build, and I'm trying to create,
And what I'm saying by world building is there's nothing wrong with you saying, I want that when we get out of this labyrinth, it to be A, or B, or C. And I'm going to be like, okay, I had a different plan for that, but if that's what you want to experience, if that's going to be enough, if you think that's going to bring more enjoyment to the rest of the table, I'm fine with it. I can be very flexible in like what I include, because that doesn't really, like, a setting doesn't really affect the story as much to me as it would for other DMs.
Yeah.
Because I can roll, like, I've done nothing but roll with the punches since I started DMing.
Oh, hey, since '78, that's all I've been doing is rolling with the punches both ways. whether play as a player or as a DM. So it really doesn't matter to me whether you stick us on a death world, as long as we stumble through the labyrinth and find.
Okay, I guess the question is that as we wake up in this, what can we tell about the world from where we're at?
From where you're immediately at. Okay.
Yes.
Well, see, that's one of the questions that I had for you guys. Do you want to start with a party that's separated, or do you want to start with all the characters together in the same room? Or similar enough that it wouldn't take much time to find each other?
I would think it would be more realistic if we were separated, but I would think being naked, we'd probably want to be together so that we can help each other out.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be such a horrible bastard that if you guys are completely separated, I'm going to deny you, your character at the beginning because, in my map making creation session, what I did is I put this room with like 12 skeletons and I rolled the die and that's where you were, so have fun with 12 skeletons, bucko. That's not going to happen, right? I'm going to adjust it for everything.
Why not?
Let's get a final answer on that. Do you guys want to start together? Do you guys want to start separately?
I want to be together.
I would prefer that. Yeah.
I'm indifferent.
That's a majority vote.
That's a majority vote.
Or what I was looking at is, two people wake up in one part of the maze. As they're wandering through, they run into another couple. And create a party that way.
So you're talking
So
like
close.
the Wizard of Oz effect.
Yeah.
As you go through, you run into each other.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad idea either.
Well, I'd actually think that would be, everybody would have to role play a little bit on their own first. Wake up, oh my God. What was in that wine? Oh.
Yeah.
Bad day, bad day, bad day, bad day, bad day.
Yeah.
And what was her name?
Yeah.
Where the hell am I? Where the hell am I? Where's my gift fiddle? Waking up like that. Where is everything? I'm not in my work. The confusion that you would have, that would really work out.
And that's kind of why I was like initially planning on starting everybody separately.
Yeah.
Because there is just something about waking in an entirely alien place, not recognizing the area. It's not where you went to bed last night. You may not have even gone to bed last night. Something might have happened to you, and now you're suddenly here. You don't know why. You don't know who put you here. You don't know how you got here, and you don't know what's going on, what to do next, or where you're going to be going. And there's a certain aspect psychologically that I really find endearing for a story to put people in that position by themselves. Because there is something incredibly novel about having to face a challenge that is so demonstratively, singularly invasive to your human psyche and have to do it alone.
But
So having, my monologue over, do we still want to start the party together?
well, I could see having, say, two characters, that don't know. Of course, nobody knows each other.
Did you do high or low?
I did high or low.
What did you call it? I haven't seen it yet, so I can call it.
I called high, we're together. Low, we're separate.
Well,
We're separate.
looks like we're
Okay.
alone.
I get my way anyways.
Flying
Looks
solo.
like I got a 7, I think, is from the looks of it.
I would concur with the 7.
So we start separate.
We start separate. Yeah. And I'm like, when I mean the entirety of the multiverse, don't be exclusory to licenses. It doesn't have to be the D&D multiverse. You can have someone from 20th century America if you want. And then think about that for culture shock.
Woohoo!
Oh man, that would be culture shock. So, think of a special forces ranger, or Navy SEAL waking up in the times of the D&D world. Here he
You'd
is.
have to learn a brand new set of skills to survive.
Yeah, that would be a culture shock.
But that's something that we could we could talk about. Like, if you want to have a character concept like that, that's all part of the world building. Because then what would happen is, like, the whole point of me calling it the meanest conspiracy is that there is a conspiracy. Spoiler alert. It's in the name. So think about that and think about the consequences to that. If you get pulled out from your daily life into some strange alien place and there's a reason for it, you just don't know what it is.
Well, I don't have, like I said before, I can roll with the punches, however it goes. So I don't really have a problem with however you want to do it. I don't think Bill has a problem.
Not at all.
Well, that's the thing is, it's not really a question of, like, whether or not I have you guys have problems with it, because if you have a problem with it, deal. I'm the DM. What I'm saying is like, here's an opportunity for you to influence the story.
The only influence I've got is just let's get it running, let's kill everything, and let the gods sort them out.
Okay.
What do you say?
I agree, but I think he's looking for more input from us.
I am.
That would be
So
correct.
I don't think we're giving that to him.
No.
But
Okay.
I'm not.
I have a question now.
Okay, go.
How you say, we end up there, we don't know how or why. How long ago don't we know? Because that could help in...
That's something that I was going to work out with you guys on individually. The idea that I had was that you guys wouldn't just be instantly TP'd there as if an admin on a Minecraft server said, these 4 people go here. Right? It could be like, there's going to be a character who's been there for a month. There could be a character that's been there for 2 years, 10 years, a day, half an hour. That's up to you guys. The longer you're there, the more information I'm going to give you.
Okay, on that situation, I wouldn't mind being there for a couple of months. I have been in there, wandering around, traveling, but I can't see somebody being stuck in the maze for 10 years. I could see, say...
You don't know me very well, do you?
Why not?
Number one, you'd need to eat. There's probably not much food in there.
Bugs.
Ew.
Protein.
No, that's
Seriously,
true.
Yeah.
And of that, and I also said
Survival food.
Well, that you guys are also following a false assumption. You're assuming it's
Empty.
exactly like the traditional labyrinth in the Greek
There
myth.
may be.
I'm not expecting.
supplies
I'm not
in there
assuming
that you find.
anything.
Oh, it could.
I mean, what's to say that there's a room in this labyrinth that has an ocean 25 leagues long? 25,000 leagues.
Well, that's a source of
Oh,
food and
at the
water
same-
if you know how to handle it.
At the same time, and that word time comes into play.
Exactly.
Think of living between tick and tock.
Yeah.
In that space between tick and tock.
So what you're basically asking me is you want me to mess with time.
That way we don't have, in a way, yes. That way we don't have to worry about finding food.
Mm-hmm. That was going to happen anyways.
Oh,
That was already planned, but I'm glad you brought it up.
because
I'm glad that that's something that you want to experience because I planned for it.
that we don't have to search for food.
Oh no! You have to search for food. But what I'm saying is like there's going to be like the characters themselves, what they're going to be experiencing. There's going to be time dilations. So expect it, but don't metagame it.
Okay, so what do you mean by time dilations?
Meaning that the chair you're sitting in is in a time dilation, and so it travels 25% faster than the rest of the time around it.
Okay.
Oh man, just thinking about the mathematics on that is just
That's why he's the DM.
yeah.
He's got to worry about that.
Yeah, we don't have to play Einstein on that.
So things like that, there's concepts in science fiction and fantasy that if you guys enjoy, if you guys really find yourselves loving and wanting to experience it for yourselves, and so that if there's a character in a book that you really really like, but you're I don't think I'd do that in that situation, so I'd like to put myself in that situation to figure out what I do. Things like that. I'm thinking the whole the impetus behind the time dilation was Ender's Game for me.
Well, and I'll be honest with you. When I was thinking about between tick and talk,
Fast forwarding between like
No.
when you guys wanted to do stuff.
no. If anybody has seen Babylon 5,
I haven't.
okay, when not Sinclair, Sheridan went to Zahadum and died when he was captured by the first one.
Okay, I think
And
I remember
they talked about, who are you? Are you between tick and talk? You know, there's being caught between time.
Like in the stage of liminality.
Not liminality, but
Well, like you're neither here nor there. That's a stage of liminality is like you're on the graduation floor, you're about to receive your diploma, but you haven't gotten your diploma, so you haven't graduated high school, but you have. You're just waiting to get your diploma. That's a stage of liminality. You're not A and you're not B. You're somewhere in between, and it's really hard to define.
yeah, and by being in that stage, you know, there's an infinite amount of time in between times. You know, between tick and talk. You know, it's a. Actually, I thought that was Michael Straczynski was very brilliant in that thought.
Mm-hmm.
But
that.
you know, between milliseconds, there's still nanoseconds in between. But the time doesn't go forward or back. It's just there. It's like a bubble. I could see people being put in this maze where there is no time, but you're still operating as if there's time. And that's what I was looking at, you know. You won't age, you won't hunger, you won't thirst, but you've got to go from A to B, you know, from wherever you start out to get to the finish line, so you can get back into time.
Okay. So basically what you're saying is that there would be some sort of magical effect that made it so that the real effect of time on your body was paused
Yeah.
until you got out of that magical effect. So you didn't age, you didn't need food, you technically wouldn't need air, because you would be living in that half a nanosecond of time and space, but existing in an entirely different plane.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be a really cool way to play the labyrinth.
It's kind of similar to what I was implementing.
Okay.
But it's a new enough of an idea for me to take and work with.
Okay.
Does anybody have anything else that they want to try to like contribute or think of, or something novel? That, because that's the thing, is that, you know, I can do the canned adventure where we all start in a tavern and oh no, there's goblins afoot. Go get the goblins because the captain of the guard says to do so. You know, we can do stuff like that, but we don't have to. And if we don't have to, I'd rather do something that can be enjoyable and unique for everyone, not even just the listeners, but for us here at the table. Like, I want to be confounded by you guys and actually have to say, you know what, guys? You derailed me so bad, I need to take a 10-minute break to figure out what I'm going to do next.
Challenge accepted.
Exactly.
And there's a reason why I just said that out loud on air. Is because I expect it. I want it. Because there's a very, very good practice in always trying to take any experience to increase your human capital. And I see no reason why D&D should be an exception. Okay. Well, I think we, you know, in terms of world building, I don't want to, you know, show my hand fully yet. I'm fine throwing an ace down there. I'm fine throwing a jack down there, but I'm not going to throw my full hand out. So in terms of world building, I'm pretty much set unless you guys have any specific questions that I can answer based off of your character's time there. If you don't have any questions like that, we can take a break and then come back and do some character building.
All right. I have no problem.
Sounds good.